Good morning, everyone. My name is Laura Stranks, and now I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. Hope you're all well today. We're almost at the end of our sales period for the current annual and mini catalogues, which we're both finishing. Well, they're both finishing at the end of April. There's a lot of products retiring, so although it'll be nice to see some new products, it's a bit sad to see some of the favourites going. I did receive my pre-order this a couple of weeks ago now. I've been away, so I haven't had a chance to look through it yet. But I've decided to continue using my retiring products just for this video because at the moment they haven't retired, but they will be shortly. I've started to rearrange my craft room to fit all the new products. I've cleaned out my card stock. Haven't got a lot to sell. It's retiring, and it's nice to see some of the new colours coming back. Stamp sets, I've rearranged all of those. I haven't got a lot left that are going to carry over, so I'll be selling quite a few of those. I haven't got enough space in my craft room to keep everything, even though I'd like to. So I do sell some of my products. What else have we got? It's more beneficial for me to keep up with current products because I do workshops and classes here. And if you use something that's retired, then if someone asks, oh, I'd like that, you haven't got it to sell because it's gone. I've still yet to do my stamp pads and punches and embossing folders, ribbon embellishments. I've been a bit busy lately, so I'll get around to that shortly. We've got a few weeks left yet. Now, on to today's project. This card, and it's a special card for me, we've designed, a friend of mine, Annette, and I designed this ourselves. We've given it a name, which we called, where did I put the name? Curtain Call on a Card. So as you can see, this little front bit is separate to the main card. There's a card inside there that you can do your writing on. And this front piece, I haven't undone the bow yet because it takes a little bit to do the bow up, but I'll undo it now. So you just undo your bow on the front, and it's just like a little curtain fold on the front. So we named it Curtain Call on a Card. Annette and I sat down here one day and designed it ourselves. It's not difficult to do. It's just a few measurements that we worked out. And to give you the best look, we chose this pattern. Today's card I'm going to do in completely different colours and a little bit different layout. The PDF, when I put it up on my Laura's Craft Room Tips and Tutorials page, it will be referencing the new one that I'm doing today. So, but you can soon adjust it to suit these colours if you wish. I've also got a Facebook page, Cards by Laura, if you want to hop on there and have a look. All my workshop cards, class cards, and any others that I do in between are all posted up there, so you can get some ideas. In my group page, all the PDFs are in there for all my YouTube videos, so you can hop in there and print them off for yourself. My YouTube channel, which you're watching right now, it's called Creative Gems, so if you've got any friends that you'd like to subscribe, just hit the subscribe button. I'm aiming for 500 sometime this year. I'm up to 444 at the moment, so that's my next goal. Doing quite well, seeing I've only been doing it probably 6 or 8 months or so. Anyhow, we shall get started today. And as I mentioned, this is designed by Annette and I. So today I've chosen, and I shall give you a look at some of the things that I'm using. The little greeting that I've got here, the hello, I've silver embossed that. It's from the Irresistible Blooms, which is the online exclusive, one of the products in there. The die that I chose is this little stylish shaped circle. I've used lots and lots of these, the circles and the squares, and there's some banner dies in there too. I use them quite a bit, love those. This frame, this piece here, which is going to go in my centre, not that one, over here, it's from the Artistically Inked, which is carrying over to the new catalogue, and it's that die there. It's called Artistic Dies, so I've used that one there, and I've cut it out of the silver foil I have printed off, and I'll go through some measurements with you. Just put those bits aside. I'll just put this in here if you want to do a screenshot. If you don't want to go into my tips and tutorials page, these are the measurements. I'll just take these out from underneath. We have a base, and it's just the standard base. Now, we've done these in centimetres for a change. I said to Annette, we might do a centimetre one because everyone asks me why I work in inches. I don't prefer inches, but I'm more comfortable with inches. But today for this card, which I think it worked out better to do it in centimetres, it's a lot even scoring. So this Night of Navy, I've chosen, it's 21 centimetres by 15 centimetres, and then I've scored that in half at 10.5. I'm going to go piece by piece here. Our little front panel here, which this one here we did in a couple of different colours. I used Gorgeous Grape and then Highland Heather. So, but this one I've used the same Night of Navy all the way. The mat for that basic white is that piece there. It measures 14.3 by 9.8, and I did change this. That one, no, that's not the right piece. This one here, that measures 14.3 by 9.8, and then I just did a really fine border with the DSP. The DSP I'm using today is By the Bay. It will be retiring shortly. It's a 6x6 pack. I've used quite a bit in that. And I've chosen this pattern. It's got the silver and the blue. It's not really shells, and it's just blotchy sort of pattern, so it looked quite nice on this. That measures 14 centimetres by 9.5. On this one you'll see I didn't do the 2 layers, I've just done the one. So your 1 layer there, if you don't do the mat, you'll just do your DSP front, and it'll be the 14 by 9.5. So that's that piece. The basic white inside is 14 by 9.5. I think that's the correct one. We'll just double check that. Yes, I've done a bigger border around on the inside of this one as well. So that's the inside basic white. This here is our little front, the curtain piece at the front. It's 14.5 by 11 centimetres, and then I've scored that, and I'll give you the scoring when we get to it. The DSP strips down the side panels. I've got 2 in silver foil. I've put tear and tape on the back of those, only because they curl quite a bit when you emboss the foil. I've used this Basics 3D grey plate as I think that's the online exclusive store as well in there, so I used that one. These 2 pieces, silver foil, is 10.5 by 1.5, and there's 2 of those, and then there's 2 of these smaller ones, this one and wherever my other one is. Here we are. They're the same. Excuse me. 10.5 by 1.5. There's 2 of those. They're going to go on the other 2 panels down the side. The DSP. This one here. Back up here. That's that one. That one. Basic white. Centre of the curtain is 10.5 by 6. And then the DSP on that is 10 by 5.5. I'm going to put that down the centre, and approximately 40 centimetres of ribbon. We'll get to that in a minute. And then I've got a piece of scrap foil that I cut out, this detail piece. These DSP strips, I don't know if I put them in, but they will be on the PDF. They go down on the inside. Which ones were they? Oh yes, they'll go on the inside panels. This one here, down on the inside. So that's those. Right, we'll get started. So all we're doing, I've scored this at 10.5. This is our base. Fold this in half and burnish that. Then we can put these back layers on. We need to put those on before. I need a white one. Make sure I get the right ones. That's those two. I'm going to adhere my DSP first. I'll get my silicone mat. And I'll adhere that to the... I'm going to use my snail, because sometimes this foily DSP, when you rub your glue across, because you try not to, that one's coming out a bit thick, we'll fix that in a sec. When you go like that with your multi-purpose glue, it sort of leaves lines on the other side. So I'm going to use my Stamp and Seal for this one. This is a new, the other one had just finished, so we'll put this one on here. Just keeps, yes, try to flick it off, but it doesn't always go where you need to. So we'll adhere that to the white mat. There's no right or wrong side to this, and it's just got the tiny border. All I do is line it up so it's got that small edge around. Do it nice and even at the top, and then it should just fall into place. So that will go on the front first. There's nothing else to put on there. You could use Tombow here, but I'm going to stick with this Stamp and Seal. Just double check. Just wasn't sure if I was recording then. I had a horrible thought that I hadn't pressed record. I am recording this because I'll be away for a few days and I didn't want to miss my video. So that one will go on there. That's your front complete. We can do the inside while we're here, which will be this one and these two strips, which are down that edge. We'll put those on there. I'm just going to leave a little white border down the side edge. If you cut these a little bit long, adhere them on and then trim it off. These are exact length, so I don't have to do any trim. These have got a pattern on, so I'm making sure that I've got the pattern the correct way. Or both the same way, I should say. And that one will go down there. Just neatens up the inside with a bit of pattern. So we can place that one in there. And I had fun designing this one and making sure we got all the measurements correct. I'll go that way with the pattern. I'll just put that one inside. There's nothing else to go on that piece. And that's your inside. So it's pretty much a basic card to start with. Now our decoration for in here, I can put that, and I've put the shell pattern. It's like a shell pattern. It looks like a fan to me. On this one I've got them facing upwards, so I'm going to do the same here. And I can put that on there. I can hear my neighbour next door having a chat. He's probably on his phone because he's a little bit deaf, I think, and he talks really loud on his phone. I can hear his conversation over here. So our other piece, which is this panel here, I'll just get my notes so that I'm telling you the right thing. This one here, it measured 14.5 by 11, and I've scored it at 2 centimetres and 4 centimetres, and then I flipped it over and scored it. I'll show you on my trimmer how I do it. So you get a nice even score line rather than going across your cardstock and doing all the way across. I go 2 centimetres score, 4 centimetres score, and then rather than going across to here wherever it lines up, you'd have a different measurement. I flip it around 180 degrees and I score at 2 centimetres and 4 centimetres. That way you know you're getting even panels on each side. If you go across the other way and it's a little bit out, then it's not so nice. Now I'm going to fold the inside score lines into valley folds. So that's those two. The PDF will tell you that. And then the two outside score lines will come back and fold and burnish into a mountain fold. So you've got the valley fold in there and the mountain fold on the top. And this one will be mountain as well. And it just creates a little curtain pattern. Burnish it well so that it's going to sit down. It does create a little bit of bulk, but I didn't put any dimensionals on this so that it's no thicker than what you would have a dimensional. So then this panel can go in here. We can put that one in. This is a very quick video today because I have everything prepped as usual. It's just basically showing you how to assemble. So that one will sit in there with the nice even border around the edge with the seal. So long as you don't push it down straight away, it won't stick until you've pressed it down firmly. Now I wasn't sure whether, I think I'll put the silver ones on the outside and the DSP ones on the inside. I think I prefer it that way. I like to show the silver. And I've already put some tear and tape on the back of these. Just get my pick tool, which I didn't get out. There it is at the back. I have put 2 strips of tear and tape. Just grab one of my little dishes, put my scrap in. Only because this foil, when I embossed it, it curled. As I mentioned, I used this Basics 3D, and it's just like a texture pattern. There's a spot one and a flower one in this same pack. There's 3 folders in the pack, and they're current at the moment. So I'm going to put this one out here. Like that. And the same with this one. Foil always looks nice when it's been embossed. Just gives you a little bit of texture on your cardstock. That one will go down there. And it's not going to curl up. And I did put tear and tape on these two as well. This pattern is the same pattern as the front of the main card base. The weather is beautiful here at the moment. We're starting to get a little bit of autumn weather. Not as hot. It's been an unusual autumn. Quite hot compared to normal. But then our summer was pretty hot in spots as well. I've lived in Brisbane all my life. Born and bred. Actually, where I am now, it's called Logan. It's on the outskirts. It's sort of a city, in a city with part of Brisbane, but it's on the outskirts of Brisbane. I'm going that way with my pattern. And this here, I'm just going to lay this in here. I'm going to cut the bottom off eventually. I'm just going to put a little bit of Tombow on the back of that. I don't use the adhesive sheets very often. I find that when you're taking the backing off, especially if with a fine detail one like this, it seems to stretch your pattern a bit. This one's not as bad. Whoops, that's way too much glue. And I shall get a piece of paper towel. This is a new bottle. And it's oozing out everywhere. Wipe that off. I've probably had it standing upright so long it's now decided to all come out at once. It doesn't need it all over this. Try and mainly get the tips of the leaves. It gets a bit full, this one. Just tiny little spots here and there. That should be enough. I'm going to lay that and try and get as much of the pattern as I can on the front. And what I do, I lay this down over it so you're not putting your fingers all over your glue and spreading your glue everywhere. I put my silicone mat on top. Now I'm going to cut this off gently. Just leave that sitting in there. With my scissors when I find them. I did get them out. I'll just use these for now. I don't know where the others went. I'm going to cut it level with that blue because I want to still see the frame. Like so. That back over the top. And we end up with that, which looks quite pretty. Wasn't sure what it looked like until it was glued down. And then I've just got that little hello. I'm going to put that, but I'm going to put the ribbon in first and put the hello last. Excuse me while I just have a mouthful. Now with the ribbon I've chosen, and this one's carried over as well. It is currently in the mini catalogue. It's called Night of Navy and it's the bordered ribbon. So it's a nice colour that went with this card. And it's about 40 centimetres, which I don't know where 40 is on this. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave it on the roll to start with. And what I'm doing, I'm just going to put some Stamp and Seal at the back of this. That's not working very well at the moment. Probably pressing a bit too, that's better. Pressing a bit too hard. So I'm making sure I've got enough. I'll go by this one to start with. Enough for a... Just put that there. About halfway. You can put it lower if you like. I prefer it in the middle so that it holds the card together nice and evenly. Stick that across the back. Make sure you do this before you adhere it down to the card. Then I'm going to put I might use my Tombow multi-purpose glue this time, just to get a bit out. You could put this down with tear and tape as well. I'll use this time, and I'll make sure I push it down firmly. I think my ribbon's going to be a bit crooked like that by the look of it. And then centering that in the center of the card, on the sides and on the pretty even. Give it a good press down so it will seal. Then I'm going to, I hope I've left enough. Like so. I won't tie that yet because I want to let it sit for a minute to seal onto the card base. Hold it straight. Now I'm going to put that up there because I don't want it underneath the bow, and the tails of the bow will hang down. So I can put that up on dimensionals. Actually, no, I won't. I'm going to lay it flat because it's going to hold up the panels on the outside of the card if I do that. I'm just going to pop that in there. Like that. So when you open it up, you'll see that you can put a happy birthday in there if you want a birthday card. I did, on this other one, I did put the birthday at the top because I had a nice detail panel in the center. This one's a little bit different. Now when I tie a bow, I turn my card upside down and then it ends up the right way up. I had a lady here the other day with a class and I was explaining that to her, and I've got tweezers here that I can use as a third finger, a third holder. So I'm holding that quite firm. These are like a reverse tweezer. That will hold it there. And I'm going to tie my bow. And as you will see, the tails will be facing downwards. So if you're tying a bow, especially if it's already on a card like this, if you're tying it individual by itself and then sticking it on, it doesn't really matter. You just turn it the other way. And then I shall just tidy up my little tails a bit. That's that. I like the points facing downwards like so. Just trim a little bit off those. And that is it. Fairly quick. I hope you like that. It's quite pretty today. And that's my other one. I won't do the bow up again. You know what it looks like. And that's it from me. I don't think I had anything else to tell you. The next video I do next week will be, I'll be using some of my new products. I'm sure I'll be getting into my order, my pre-order before then. So I shall do something with those. We'll see what we can create. Thank you all for watching. Have a lovely week, and I'll catch you next week with another fun fold. Bye for now.